Hello and welcome back to a special video. Today we have finally reached the end of the series where I rank all of Ash's teams from each series. It was such a fun way to look back at his past teams and really dive into who was his most important Pokemon. But finally today we are going to be ranking all 8 of his teams, all the way from Kanto to Pokemon Journeys. These teams we ranked on development, balance and of course strength, but most importantly the personality of the team and how well the series portrayed them. So let's get into the video and I hope you enjoy. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Pokemon anime content. So kicking things off at the bottom we have the current series Pokemon Journeys. Now this series is of course ongoing, so this could change a lot, but as of now this Journeys team has been poorly treated. Every Pokemon on this team has gone missing at some point in the series. I spoke about this a lot in my Journeys ranking. Although the team might be insanely powerful in battle, that doesn't excuse the lack of screen time and development. This ranking is based on how well the team is shown in a series, and so far this team hasn't been shown off well at all. There of course has been some fantastic moments coming from the likes of Lucario, Dragonite and Sirfetch'd, but even these three have problems. I think this team is filled with so much potential and I really hope Journeys can pull through and start bringing more of that out. But as of now, it's Ash's worst team in my opinion. I always see Ash's team as his family for each series, and I think this series is the worst to depict that togetherness that is shown in other series between Ash's Pokemon. But as I said before, it isn't all doom and gloom, as we've had some great moments from this team, and I'm looking forward to more going forward, but for now it comes in last. In 7th place we have Ash's Unova team. This team has had a few issues from the start, and the main issues for me are the balance of his team is way off. At the start of the series, Pikachu is getting defeated by Pokemon like Snivy and Pampor, matches that he really should be winning, and then the likes of Ash's Oshawott are taking down Pokemon that they really shouldn't be. So it was very up and down and felt like some Pokemon just won because the plot needed them to, rather than actually making sense in terms of a Pokemon's strength. However, this problem gets better into the series with Ash's Unova team as a whole getting much stronger. But then a new problem comes into light, which is the rotation problem. Ash catches a lot more Pokemon than 6, so he starts to switch his Pokemon around a little bit. But in my opinion, this was done pretty poorly. He didn't really use Pokemon like Leavanny or Palpitoad as much as he should have, as they were pretty strong in battle. He opted to keep using the same Pokemon like Scraggy and Oshawott, who were fine, but it would have been nice to have a bit more balance to this team. This team did have some fantastic personalities and strong Pokemon. The likes of Crocodile and Pignite really did carry this team, and despite my dislike to Oshawott and Scraggy, those two Pokemon brought so many fun episodes and moments to the series. They were the heart of Ash's team and made this team feel more complete, so there is definitely a lot to love about some of these Pokemon, but I think the balance was way off sometimes. Another example is bringing back Ash's Charizard, which was epic, but then it didn't really do anything, so it was kind of a wasted moment. Overall this team is very fun to watch, but I would have liked it to be a bit more balanced and maybe a bit more serious at times. Coming in 6th place is Ash's Kalos team. Ash's Kalos team is one of his strongest for sure. If this ranking was purely on strength then it would have been a lot higher. This team has so much about it that I love. It had one of Ash's strongest Pokemon ever being Greninja, a Pokemon who had one of the best stories and development of any of Ash's Pokemon, even getting its own form, showing just how close their bond was. And then there's Pokemon like Goodra, Howlucha and Talonflame, who all have very unique styles about them. Goodra has a fun, loving personality, but then when it comes to battle it's ruthless. And then Howlucha has its cool, wrestling themed battle style. So this team is one of Ash's coolest, and I think where it lacks is development from other Pokemon other than the main few. Talonflame never stood out for me amongst his other flying types. It didn't have the same impact on me as Staraptor and Swellow did, and the same goes for Noivern, who I found pretty bland, and it didn't get much development at all. I love Ash's Goodra, but the problem with Goodra is that it wasn't around for much of Kalos, which really lets this team down. Also there is a massive lack of depth in this team, with Ash owning 3 flying types. Granted they all have a dual typing, but did Ash really need 3 flying types here? There's plenty more unique Kalos Pokemon that he could have got given in this team. Maybe a bit of rotation here would have done this team a bit better. Overall I do love this team and I think it's really strong, but it just lacks in a few areas like I mentioned, so that's why it's not higher. 5th place is Kanto. Say what you will about the original series and the Indigo League, you can't deny how much Ash's original team had an impact on the series as a whole. Charizard, Bulbasaur, Squirtle and Pikachu all together was iconic, and not really on terms of battling in Kanto, but the personalities of these Pokemon. They all bonded so well and became such a close team. Even the likes of Pidgeotto, Lapras and Snorlax all had some great moments early on in the series. This could be my bias, but when I think of Ash's closest bonds with Pokemon, I always think back to his original team and starters. And then there's Butterfree, his first ever capture. Even though it was only around for less than 20 episodes, it had a huge impact on the series. People still talk about its release back in episode 21 all of these years later. Where this team falls short is battling. Bulbasaur was clearly the best battler here. Charizard only learnt to obey Ash in the Orange Islands, and then Squirtle did barely any battling in Kanto. So this team lacks strength and development, but more than makes up for that with personality. Number 4 is Ash's Hoenn team. I think I've come to appreciate Ash's Hoenn team a lot more down the years. The Pokemon here pretty much have everything you want. They have fun personalities, they're all strong in battle, and they all get a fair share of development. Apart from Glalie, but even so Glalie put in some big performances in the league, so at least when it was there it still performed. Each Pokemon has a unique trait. Trico was the edgy loner, Corphish was the carefree, reckless Pokemon, Swellow would never give up and stay determined, Torkoal was always crying, always emotional and happy to see everyone, and then Snorunt was cheeky and liked to tease people. They all just brought so much energy and fun to this team, and that along with their power in battle is truly one of Ash's best teams. You even had the likes of Apom join in the Battle Frontier. And something Hoenn did really well was how Ash used to train his team. He helped Trico learn Bullet Seed, he helped Swellow master Aerial Ace, Glalie and Ice Beam, and there's probably more. He always taught his Pokemon moves, something he hasn't really done in any other region consistently, and this added to their development. I think a small problem with this team is it took a little long sometimes for Pokemon to evolve and to reach their potential. Ash's Sceptile should have became Sceptile for the Hoenn League. It took a bit too long for me. Also Swellow could have probably evolved a bit earlier, and then there's Torkoal, who I would have liked to get a few more wins and make a bit more of an impact. But overall this team is just fantastic and I can't help but smile when I think about it, so I think halfway is a good place to rank it. Coming in 3rd place is Ash's Johto team. This was a hard one to rank, but I decided Johto deserves to be this high. Johto was an accumulation of the original series, and it was a mixture of his Kanto team and his Johto team. If you look at the different combinations of Pokemon Ash used at the Johto League, it was just really cool to finally see Ash at this point in his career using everything he's learnt from Kanto, the Orange Islands and Johto, and really put everything into these battles. We have the likes of Charizard, Bulbasaur and Squirtle really at the best they've ever been in battle, especially Charizard earning Ash's 1st and 8th badges, and then coming back to beat Gary's Blastoise in the league. It was a perfect wrap up for all of these Pokemon, especially since none of them really did that much in battle in Kanto. So Johto gave them this chance, and we haven't even spoken about Ash's new additions from Johto. Cyndaquil was an absolute beast in battle and had a funny personality. Bayleaf, who again was another powerhouse in battle and had her crush on Ash, which made for some funny moments. We also had the likes of Heracross and Noctowl, who were unique in their own ways, one being a shiny Pokemon, and they're all strong and dedicated to Ash. This was just a perfect blend of everything that was done right in the original series, and it all came together to create this awesome team which got Ash's first win over Gary and many memorable moments. Coming in 2nd place is Ash's Sinnoh team. Ash's Sinnoh team was fantastic. Diamond and Pearl anime was one of the longest series as it ran for 4 years rather than the usual 3. So we got more time with these Pokemon, more moments, more battles, and that makes a big difference. Gible getting introduced late into the series actually had the time at the end that the likes of Phanpy and Snorunt didn't really get. When I think of Ash's Sinnoh team, I don't necessarily think of strength, I more think of personality and development, but of course they're all strong as well. But I think the Diamond and Pearl anime did a great job of fleshing all of them out, giving them the screen time they deserve, letting them shine. Even the likes of Torterra, it didn't win many battles, but it still had the chance to actually compete in them, which some Pokemon wouldn't even get. And with Weasel, Staraptor and Gliscor, there's just so much to love about all of them. And then of course Infernape, one of Ash's strongest Pokemon, and in my opinion the best story. It's unmatched on terms of story and development, being released by Ash's fierce rival only to join Ash and then take down that same rival in the Sinnoh League. It was just perfect storytelling, and I don't think we've seen anything come close since. Infernape does carry this team. I said about Greninja and Kalos, so it's only fair to say it here as well. Infernape is the main Pokemon. It gets the most development and steals the show most of the time, but that's not to say other Pokemon don't get any. They all hold their own, they all make an impact. The Sinnoh League was amazing, but I have to say I was disappointed that Ash's Sinnoh team didn't actually compete in many battles other than the pool battle. But regardless of that, this team was amazing. It got Ash to the semi-finals, the furthest he'd been at this point. It had everything, and that's why it gets the runner-up spot. But coming in first place is of course Ash's Alola team. This team is something special, and this is coming from someone who isn't even the biggest Sun and Moon fan. But I can appreciate this team so much. This was more than a team, this was a family, as Dom Toretto would say. Sun and Moon was very much a family, slice of life vibe, and his Pokemon were definitely a part of that. He bonded with each of them individually. They all got so many episodes dedicated to just them. Each of them had their own unique personality, and none of them were bystanders. Everything that this series did was important to develop the story of these Pokemon. And towards the end of the series, each of them had its own rival. Lycanroc had Gladion's Lycanroc, Rowlet had Howl's Decidueye, Torracat had Kukui's Incineroar, and of course Pikachu had the legendary Tapu Koko. And then there was Naganadel and Melmetal, who might not have been as important as the core four, but still made massive impacts and had some fantastic moments and battles. This is the team that finally won Ash the Pokemon League, and that might be enough on its own to justify this ranking. But there's so much more to this team, and we could all probably talk about how well written and developed each of his Pokemon were forever. But in my opinion, this was Ash's best team, his strongest team, and his most developed team. And that's why it comes in at number 1. So that was my ranking of Ash's 8 teams. Please let me know what you think his best team was, and let me know why you think that's his best team. Let's get some discussion going, but I hope you all enjoyed. This was such a fun series to make, start to finish, and hopefully we can talk about this again once Journeys is over and see where that one stacks up. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.